What have you brought with you?
I have brought Luigi's Mansion 3, so...
Perfect. We're going to be watching some gameplay. We've got Sarah playing off screen again.
Absolutely, the stellar Sarah.
Yes.
She's our superstar back there. Yeah, if you just want to roll through it, yeah, we'll take you through a little bit of the gameplay. But to set it all up, Luigi kind of encounters this little invite, and he's kind of in this bus on the way to this giant gold hotel. It's really nice. But something's really weird. He gets in, and something happens to where... let's just say it ends up with Mario and Princess Peach and Toad. They all have this giant portrait with X's over their face. And funny enough, it's actually inside our booth. If you get a chance to go in there, really sweet. And so now Luigi is kind of put in a place where he has to save everyone, not just Mario, but just everyone. And so one of the great parts about Luigi's Mansion, for those who have or who haven't played it yet, it's the Poltergust. So that is this little vacuum thing. It's a Poltergust G00. Get it? Poltergust?
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's kind of, okay. But you can kind of use a vacuum. You can suck up treasure like that. There's gold bars for some reason that are just in a treasure chest that just kind of are there. No reason at all. Tossing watermelons. You can suck up objects. You can stick to them. You can blow them out and kind of aim. And also, notice how I said he's in a hotel. Yes, this is a hotel. Yes, it's one floor. It's actually themed. Imagine every floor has a theme. And this particular one is, as you can tell, a medieval theme.
Yeah.
The basic gameplay, though, of Luigi's Mansion, he's all scared. Look at him. He's just shaking. There you go, Luigi. First, you hit your strobe bulb, you flash to stun the ghost, then you suck him up, and then you have this new move called the slam. So in other words, you do want to make sure you strategically think about what is the ghost type, what are they holding, can they defend against your strobe bulb? And then you're looking at this vacuum, and then, again, A button repeatedly, and you can slam.
Can I get attacked while I'm doing slam?
So yes, you can technically get attacked, but then in this demo, it's a bit easier, so you can kind of get used to it. The slam has a couple functions. Yeah, you celebrate, Luigi. Slam has got a couple functions. It can actually damage other ghosts that happen to be a result of that slam, or damage other things and destroy like environmental objects. And actually, what has just happened right now is Luigi also had the second new move, which is a suction shot. Suction shot. Like a little sword. We'll talk about the swords later. Suction shot allows Luigi to kind of tuck on something, I guess, and then use the vacuum to kind of grab that a rope and kind of pull it and interact with objects that are normally flat. Now, keep in mind, you're going to need to use that later on. Sarah knows that. She's got that. She's a pro. Not bad so far.
No, I really have to question what sort of hotel this is, though.
Sometimes, even in the intro, right? Luigi's has his trunk next to him, and he's chilling on a bus. Polterpup appears from that chest and just kind of appears. And Luigi's like, that's totally normal. What's wrong? It's like, what do you mean what's wrong? That dude doesn't show up every day. Polterpup is going to, something's up. So, obviously, there's a plant. A little bit of kind of detail here. You see Luigi getting absolutely terrified by these spikes. If you press the right stick, just like that, you have Gooigi, which is another one of the new features. And let me just walk through the spikes, no big deal. For those interested in a little bit of lore, Gooigi, Gooigi was actually found in the 3DS version of Dark Moon. Yeah. Technically, in that story, he said, "I'm sent from the future." In this particular game, Professor Egad says, "I just created Gooigi." Oh, he got sent from this timeline, so this is actually happening after the events of Dark Moon.
Gotcha.
Also, he's made out of ectoplasm and coffee, and he's also water-soluble.
Oh.
And with that, you'll need a little bit of teamwork. See the interchange, when you press the right stick, you're Gooigi, pull on that, it reduces the spikes. Luigi obviously can't pass through them, but, a little bit of teamwork, and Luigi can get through just fine. Look at him flash the thumbs up on the way out. He's good.
It's super exciting that this is if I'm not mistaken, the first Luigi's Mansion built from the ground up for the Switch, for anything but a handheld. I love the 3DS and everything, but it's just exciting that it might go to a larger audience, because I feel like I've always liked the Luigi's Mansion games, but, you had to... I didn't really have to sell people on it, but I just had to say, yeah, it's on a 3DS. Now it's like, yeah, just get it on the Switch. You might as well.
And, for people that haven't played Luigi's Mansion, you don't need to play the first or second... Oh, he's grabbing on that shield. You don't need to play the first or second to really enjoy this. As long as you're the kind of person that loves to explore and kind of tinker, because my emotional tie to this game is seeing a crack in the wall. I'm like, what is that? And I have this inquisitive nature of trying to do something. That kind of emotional context to oh, I want to try that, or can I do that? Can I suck that up? Can I do that over there? Wait, is this key? Does that unlock that? And like asking myself those questions and exploring, that's the heart of the game. So if you're into just exploring and just having a good time and laughing while you're through, it's so funny. This is definitely a great place for you to start.
Yeah, that goes back to the idea that like early Nintendo games were built on where you were hitting every wall in Zelda with a bomb, etc.
Yeah, you're just like chucking pots for no absolute reason. You're swiping and cutting every bush. Why? Because you can. So, hey, that's a good thing. They want you to explore. They want you to have a good time.
Forgive me if you said this already. Where in the game would this part fall, like time-wise?
So this particular is the demo that we have here at E3. However, this particular, I think, is maybe the 3rd or 4th level in. Okay, you're seeing a little bit into the game.
Gotcha.
Just a hair.
So you said each floor is themed. This is the medieval one. What are the sort of theme, Vegas hotel room type theme floors you're
Vegas
getting?
hotel room themes. I wouldn't say anything's actually. Let's see, is there anything in gambling? No slots. No. So nothing actually after Vegas, but I do see some foliage. It's like a lot of grass. There's like a movie theater theme. I think we saw that in the trailer this morning in our Nintendo Direct, so that's there. And well, there's a lot. Funny enough, you'll actually talk about the floors a little bit later. Don't worry, this topic will come up. But I actually want to point out right now that Luigi is interacting. This is one of the whole little puzzle elements you have to figure out. You have to notice there's a fan in the back, right? Interact with that fan and be like, well, I could put myself down there. Could I? Yeah, sure. But you're going to need someone to lower you down because that doesn't move on its own. So you have Luigi over here. There you go. Help your clone out, bud. And there. Now you can switch back to Luigi and explore the lower area, which you need Luigi's help. He's pretty clutch.
Just say that there seems to be torture devices lying around.
Yeah, and for some reason Luigi just cannot help but interact with the torture device because that's logic, right? I mean, you see a stock, you just want to see if you can squiggle in there. I don't think it'll be a problem for Luigi. Might be a problem for Luigi though.
He's a masochist.
Yeah, he's a monster. Yeah, so a lot of the interchange between these two, it's really funny because sometimes I won't notice that because Luigi has his own little health. In the top left corner, you'll see that Luigi has like 25 health, and Luigi has like 99. And geez, Sarah's really collecting stuff right now. This is great. A lot of those swords. Again, a lot of collectibles. So if you're one of those 100%, completionists, I want everything. Hey, this game. I won't even start. Good luck. That right there is actually like a dark light. Yeah, it's a different kind of. It's not exactly the strobe bulb, but it's a different kind of light. So that doesn't work. Obviously, there you go. And then it uncovers a door which allows you to progress. But first, you have to suck all those spirit globules thingies in, and then there you go. Good job, Luigi. There you go. So things are looking well, and I think we're ready for a boss battle. Sorry, I'm talking so much.
No, take it away.
Oh.
I'm just enjoying watching this.
So yes. Notice how you have a little stadium there. His name is King McFright, and he sounds a little angry that you've made it this far. And he kind of possesses this armored body. And look, he's got a crowd, and everyone's cheering. He's ready for it.
It's ready for the joust.
I know. I want that shield. Let me figure out how to. No shields. And poor Luigi. He just wanted a vacation, guys. He did, seriously. And so in here, Luigi's kind of running around trying to make sure he doesn't get hit by the arrows that are coming out of those doors. At the same time, kind of keeping an eye on the boss, right? Now at this point, you got to be brave. You got to stand your ground, flash the bulb, but only at that position when he kind of pops his head out of the armor. Then he's vulnerable, and you can slam him around. Not bad.
Very good. Nailed it.
Come on, you guys got to have some questions.
I love the slam move.
Slam is good. If you're again going back to speedrunners and details, usually it's always like strobe bulb, stun the ghost, slam, right?
Right.
You can actually slam into another ghost. If you slam into another ghost, that ghost that was slammed into, you don't have to strobe bulb them anymore. So it saves you a step. So if you know you're surrounded by ghosts, just take one and just start splatting everywhere. Just slam in different directions and then try to suck them all up at one time. So there's a lot of strategy in using those techniques. And, depending on the type of the enemy, that can change too. Whether, does the enemy have a shield? You can't strobe them right away, right? So you got to think about what the enemy looks like, what they have, what their patterns are, and kind of react to it.
But to clarify something during the Direct, the show at one point there were 4 different colored Luigis. Was that was that co-op, or is that a single-player ability you get later to split into more versions?
I wish we could just split and have infinite number of Luigis. The way that is working is it's a separate mode called Scare Scraper mode. You're just trying to get as far as you can with a group of 4 people, so there is some kind of multiplayer component to it. You're just trying to progress through each level and trying to make it up to Scare Scraper.
Gotcha.
So that is something to look forward to, especially since, I know there's a lot of Luigi's Mansion fans out there.
Yeah.
And the way that's going to work out, again, we'll talk about that a bit more later on. But it's a lot of fun, especially when you're like, no, you do the stroll bump thing, but I have to do this. No, you grab the shield, and you're like, wait a minute, and you're trying to coordinate this kind of attack pattern with depending on the enemies in the room. It's really fun. So
is that Scare Scraper separate from the hotel?
Yeah, it's a separate mode technically, but generally this Luigi's Mansion 3 is a single player affair.
And so does each floor just have one boss battle, or are there going to be multiple challenges that we're coming up against?
I'll tell you what, I'm only allowed to talk about this particular level in the demo, so I'll say this level only has one primary boss. I know, you're just like,
nice,
man,
juicy.
Really? Yeah, come on, you know me.
Yeah. We're all friends at this point.
Yeah, but I love this. If we didn't point that out, of course, there was a different phase 2, and he didn't have the same pattern as before. So you have to kind of rethink constantly, in your mind, like constantly assessing what is this enemy doing. And again, great. Oh, look at that.
I do hope that this game kind of renews interest in the first 2, but also introduces people to the first 2, maybe once they finish this, or just prepare for this.
Yeah, I like that elevator button, because that's generally what happens. The boss has an elevator button that you beat, and then you're allowed to access a different floor. So all the bosses, for some reason, just kind of pluck those buttons off the elevator. So
yeah,
and that's Luigi's Mansion 3.
Well, thank you so much for bringing it to us. Sarah, well done.
Yay.
And I'm sure we'll see you again on our stage. Thank you again for bringing Luigi's Mansion 3.
You're welcome.
When can we play it?
It's coming. There's a lot of love and care being put into it, and I'll say that we're still looking at 2019 right now, and then when it's in the right spot, we'll give you more details on when exactly that day is going to happen.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you're watching at home, make sure you don't go anywhere. We're going to be taking a very short break, but then we'll be back with Wolfenstein Youngblood.